she's the sheriff, won't be seen tonight, so we can bring you a very special episode of The Gen X Files. Welcome to The Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today is another
For the Stepdads.
Oh, your stinky old stepdads are here to get you through the end of the month.
Crack open that Schlitz and watch some Love Boat.
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, yes, have a Schlitz.
Have a Schlitz.
Schlitz. That's such a weird name for beer. Schlitz.
It is.
You know that Laverne and Shirley, it was Shotz Brewery, not Schlitz.
Well, yeah, because it was fictional, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't know.
I don't think
Milwaukee,
Shotz was it Shotz with an A?
Maybe.
That sounds right.
Shotz Brewery, that's where they worked.
I don't think it was a real place.
What a great month. You know, for two guys that aren't really into musicals, what a bunch of fun musicals. I was singing the songs, not in an annoying way. Maybe one of them got cut in my head.
No.
Not singing them out loud. Yes, when I sing, it is annoying, Adam. Thank you.
No, but I agree. I found myself, for a good 2 weeks after we did Xanadu, suddenly just, it's live popping in my head.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne. I'll give all credit to Jeff Lynne on that.
I love Jeff Lynne. I was singing The Wiz, Move On. He's on down the
road.
Road.
You sung that about 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah. In my head, 1,000
And
more.
out loud, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's it's a banger.
It is. It's really good.
You know, and again, singing the ELO songs, and then, of course, the Beatles songs.
Oh, yeah.
Although the only one that really got stuck on my head was, and I would do it just like him, was Maxwell Silverhammer, and I just sing it like Steve Martin.
It's so weird.
Maxwell Silverhammer came down upon his head.
I feel like he was making fun of the producers.
I don't know.
It was like, can you sing this? And he's like, oh, I can.
Max, go on again.
So weird.
So bizarre. And going from that to watching him on Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, he has not skipped a beat. But yeah, really fun musicals. Not your mainstream musicals. It ain't.
Well, except for Grease.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But even Grease, you know, it's not your Les Mis or your.
No, it's not what people would consider to be quote unquote Broadway musicals.
No.
Even though it technically was.
Yeah.
But I mean, not like your Les Mis or your Phantom or your all those
Cats.
things. All those things
Andrew Webbers.
that I absolutely hate is why I don't like musicals.
Yes, the bad musicals.
Yeah.
I mean, in our opinion, of course.
Yeah.
And we're probably, in the minority on that. But these musicals are quirky and weird.
Yeah.
And there's something strangely watchable with each and every one of them. Sometimes it's like watching a train wreck, and sometimes it's like watching a really good movie.
Sometimes it's both at the same time.
But every single one of these four movies, I truly enjoyed watching them again.
Yeah, I saw most of them for the first time.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed them.
Which is a good testament, because,
Yeah.
you know, I saw all of these movies as a child when I had the taste of a rabid Rottweiler.
Right, yeah. You want to consume all media all the time.
Yes, any sort of escape.
That hasn't really changed much, Jim.
Well, my life hasn't changed much. There's a lot to escape. But yeah, I mean, it's just a quaint. The 70s is kind of a quaint time, and it was a time of experimentation and exploration, unlike any other, I think, in cinema history.
Yeah.
And a lot of big swings, a lot of big misses, but still so much fun. It really put me in a good mood watching all these movies again, especially Grease. It is such a fantastic film.
God, I forgot how much I love that theme song.
Yeah, I know. And and just, with all the direct-to-video movies and all the weird stuff, you forget just how remarkable John Travolta is.
Oh, yeah.
As a performer, and just how devastatingly handsome he was with that cleft chin and those gorgeous eyes. I mean, if anybody was more ripe for the Mad Magazine caricature treatment.
Oh, yeah,
There's nobody.
Oh, yeah.
And they did such a good job of drawing him. Because he's just like a movie star,
He is. He's.
And we're watching the birth of a movie star from one of the rare guys that was able to go from TV to movies. And back then, It was even harder.
Oh, no, totally. That was the big thing. You could be in TV, but everyone else kind of looked down on you because it's TV.
And even if, no matter how big a star you were, Tom Selleck could not break into movies.
No, exactly.
Do it.
Yeah,
and he was a huge star, and everybody loved him, but he just couldn't do it, and not for the fault of his own.
Yeah,
a lot of really bad. Lasseter, not a good choice. Although I like that movie. Your guilty pleasure, Runaways.
Oh, Runaway.
Which is my guilty pleasure too.
Yeah,
Runaway.
Yeah.
Michael Crichton with
Gene Simmons. It is such a weird, bad movie, but I love it so much.
Oh, yeah. But, for him to be able to go from being Vinnie Barbarino, a real dummy, to just one of the biggest movie stars in the world, not just once, not just twice, but
he had
thrice.
to, because he kept doing things like, look who's talking.
Yeah, but what a guy. To be able to give so many opportunities. It's like Robert Downey Jr., and very different because it isn't substance abuse or anything with John Travolta.
Yeah.
But there are certain people that get do-overs.
Yeah.
And
John Travolta has natural talent.
And charisma.
And it's evidenced through the fact that he has restarted his career like 4 times.
Pulp Fiction was amazing, his performance.
Oh, yeah.
And it was unlike anything he had ever done before. Yeah. And that's what is great about him, is he will always surprise you.
Yeah.
I don't know so much anymore, but whatever. The guy's old and he's done his duty.
Yeah.
I think he needs a Nick Cage career where he needs to go from like something awesome like Pig to, whatever direct-to-video stuff that they all do. But he needs
the things that pay the bills.
Yes. But I think he needs something that's going to show off those chops again. I think he's just kind of...
I think it's there. I think it's there. I think he's going to have another rebirth of his career. He's going to go into like a 3rd act or 5th act in his case. But like when he's accepting the fact that now he's bald and like he's like, hey, I can focus back in on being an actor again. I'm excited for whatever he has coming up. I'm hoping it'll be good. Hopefully he works with some good directors, some good writers, and like.
It's just he's his star has faded a bit, but that happens to everybody. At least he hasn't turned into a right-wing a-hole because of it.
Thank God for small favors. Yeah.
Oh man. And then again, Olivia Newton-John.
Oh,
so charismatic, so talented.
Yeah.
Her dancing in Xanadu with Gene Kelly was one of the highlights of the month, of the entire month, not just the movie, because it was such a great scene.
Gene Kelly was a highlight of the month.
Yeah, 100%.
It's really funny because like it was Michael Jackson in The Wiz was definitely like the most magnetic watching him in The Wiz.
He and the Cowardly Lion, I will have to say.
Yeah, yes. Now I'm just thinking of his giant mustache and his orgies.
Giant orgies.
But it was interesting watching Michael Jackson because I knew Michael Jackson growing up, but I didn't. This was just before my time, and seeing the kind of birth of Michael Jackson. Yeah. But then on the other end, like Gene Kelly being at the very end of his career, but still being this like, it's amazing. I used to go do a lot of stand up, and one time it was mostly like new people, and then one time in pops Greg Proops, and he does a like 20-minute set, it was incredible to see the difference between these guys that are just starting out that were funny, and Greg Proops, who had been doing this for 25 years and like knew how to just do audience in the palm of his hand, and that was for me watching Gene Kelly.
Yeah. Just quickly, I I think I've told this story before, but Greg Proops is one of the sweetest human beings on the planet.
Yes.
We did. I used to be in a comedy group called Los Chupacabras, or the Choops to our fan, and we did shows around town. This was back when nobody was doing sketch and improv except for the Groundlings and LA Connection.
Yeah.
No, and today you can't throw
everybody's taking
can't throw a rejected screenplay without hitting 15 improv actors. But we did a show at this club with Greg Proops, and oh, baby, did we bomb. Because improv is not good for a bar, And our improv wasn't hey, guys, we're doing some games. We need big. We did scenes and stuff, It was more just like sketch.
Stuff you should pay attention to.
Yeah, and it wasn't the right venue. And so we were just bummed, and we're at the bar, and Proops is there, and he's like, look, guys, this isn't the place. You guys were great. This isn't the place for improv. And, you guys are brave to do it. And, and God love it, you're brave to go back on, and I'm going to buy you all a beer. And so he bought us all a drink to soften the blow of having to go back up and be humiliated for another half hour after he, because we were kind of sandwiching him, opening for him. And then, but I'll never forget how kind and understanding, and how he totally switched up the night from being a horrible night to one of our best nights.
Right.
It's that kind of camaraderie that makes me love this business, because there are people in this business that are great people that want to help other people.
They actually want to see you succeed.
Yes, as opposed to the majority of predators. That
you're
are
my
out there.
stepping stone, and I'm going to crush you as I go up. Yeah.
Well, this whole business is based on Schadenfreude.
I know. Yes, it is. Yes,
I mean, it's like, well, if that guy's successful, I won't be successful. But regardless, anyway, watching the birth of Michael Jackson as a star, and dancing and all that stuff.
Watching the birth of
Michael Jackson,
and actually watching the birth of Michael Jackson.
I've seen it. It's very graphic. He moonwalks his way out of the womb.
Of course he does.
It's really goopy. But also, watching the swan song of Gene Kelly, and watching the growth of Olivia Newton-John, and watching the beginnings of John Travolta as a movie star.
Oh yeah,
and watching old Tucci is Sonny, with his crow's feet and 5 o'clock shadow.
You mean everybody that was way too old?
Yeah, and just, watching Steve Martin and Peter Frampton and Earth, Wind, and Fire and all these great groups in their prime, the Bee Gees in their prime. It was just a really fun month of great musicals for people that don't really like musicals.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge musical fan, and I found at least something in each of them to be good.
Yeah.
And it's not, I think The Wiz is the only one that I got kind of bored with.
Yeah.
But it also was just kind of long.
Right.
Like it could have been cut down.
But great music in all of them. All of them have great music.
Yes. And it was fun. I mean, they were fun. They're fun to watch. I would like to see them do way more than I thought I would. And Sgt. Pepper's.
Yeah.
Like, I was really surprised.
Yeah, I think Sgt. Pepper's needed the 40 years of grace period for people to enjoy it. No, look, most of you probably have never heard of half of these movies.
Yeah.
And if you're an adventurous soul, watch them.
Yeah. You should.
If you like music, if you like happiness, watch these movies. It was a fun month. It was a really fun, surprisingly really fun month for two guys that aren't the biggest fans of musicals.
Yeah. In fact, it inspired me to write a musical about John DeLorean and how he finds a time machine and goes back in time and falls in love with Robert Zemeckis.
Okay.
It's a musical.
Okay.
It's going to premiere on the corner in 3 weeks after I write the music. Yeah.
Wow. Can I be in it?
Sure. You can play John DeLorean.
Really?
Great.
All right. I'm going to have to start doing
I don't even know what he looks like. I don't even know if he's still alive.
I think he's dead. But he had white hair from all the cocaine.
It was in his hair all the time.
He just would shake his head, and they'd be like, "Oh, you got bad dandruff." He's like, "Snort this dandruff, baby."
Yeah. I will say though, people like us, I think, that don't like classical musicals like Phantom and Cats and all those, whatever. Rodgers and Hammerstein, all that stuff.
Rent.
But yeah, I actually don't mind Rent. Seeing it live, I've seen it live a couple times, and I always did the overnight thing and then got tickets in the front row.
Yeah.
So it helped. But even then, yes, kind of Rent. Like Rent is almost like the pinnacle of those, like, hey, we're, anyway. But now, if you want to go see a musical, it's literally just a previous IP that they've turned into a musical.
Yeah, Waitress.
Waitress. Let's make that into a musical. Why not?
They did Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Not Night of the Living Dead.
No.
Evil Dead, the
Evil
musical.
Dead. I actually saw that in Vegas. It's so funny because I don't like old classic musicals, and I don't like what they're doing with new musicals. So it's kind of like,
Hey, look, I don't begrudge it. People hate video games. People hate most of the stuff that I love. And so I'm not going to poop on somebody else's parade.
No, totally. I mean, if you want to like that stuff. But I will say...
If you want to like that stuff, idiot.
New original musicals... like there's a great musical called Firebringer that a friend of mine is producing in Milwaukee right now that has great music.
Nice.
And then we just were working with Urinetown, which is a newer musical for the last 15 years. The music is really good.
Yeah, Urinetown is really fun.
It was done really well. And Avenue Q and all these new original musicals are actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're funny. They don't take themselves too seriously, especially Urinetown, which I love because it doesn't take it so
great.
seriously.
It's so meta. But it's just sad that Broadway has fallen into the same trap that Hollywood has, which is that they're lazy at marketing. So we're just going to use stuff you already know and then go from there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, okay. I mean, it's fine. Some of it's great. Some of it's not. But
like Spider-Man Into the Dark. Winner.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So
anyway,
good month.
Musicals.
Good month.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears. What are you watching on TV?
I haven't. I spent some time out in nature, so I haven't been watching as much stuff. Although
you were watching a campfire.
I did. I watched a bear try to eat my food. It was great.
Nice. What was his name?
Charlie.
Nice.
Yeah. No. I did. I was working on the John DeLorean musical up in the Sequoia National Forest.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, you have to get away for those muses to enter your body.
The best place to write a musical about a time machine is to go see giant trees. Well, anyway,
your process is your process.
I have been watching Only Murders in the Building. The new season is phenomenal.
Oh my God! I figured it out.
I haven't. I'm still a couple episodes behind, because I think there's still the finale needs to air.
I think so, yeah.
But I'm still 3 episodes behind, so I'm not totally caught up yet.
Did you see Steve Martin's Patter song?
Yes, where he keeps passing out. And
No. When he actually does it,
I don't think so.
Holy moly! It is such a great. This is why this guy is insane.
Yeah.
The patter song, for people that don't know, a patter song is a song that you basically talk your way through. It's for people like me who can't sing.
Yeah, in musicals. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You know, it's for the guy that can't sing. They give him a patter song.
A lot of exposition.
A lot of talking. You know, I am the very modern of a modern major gentleman.
Yeah.
Or whatever that thing is.
Right.
I butchered it. But it's just it's incredible.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Martin Short is incredible.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez is incredible too. But it's just
so
these
good.
two guys. Two of my greatest heroes of all time, one of my comedy heroes, two of my favorite guys in the world, to be able to see them still at the top of their game doing A+++ work at their age when so many other guys are phoning it in or,
becoming
lost in B movies.
A-hole Republicans.
Yeah. It's so heartening.
Yeah.
And I love it so much. And I never want it to end because I don't want Steve Martin to stop performing because he's still so damn good.
Yeah. Yeah. I really love the show. I have theories about... but but I mean, part of the fun is that I like trying to figure out the mystery, but at the same time, I just want it to wash over me, so I try not to think too hard about it.
Yeah,
because I feel like then I'm missing the good performances and stuff. And
there's just so much. And what's funny, talking about turning everything into a musical, that's the thing about
that's
this
the whole
season.
Theme of that season,
or the show part. It's like the show ends and they have to bring it back, so Martin Short has the brilliant idea to turn it into a musical.
Razzle dazzle something dazzle.
Yeah. So
dazzle. So it is actually very apropos for our month, considering. But
if you're not watching that show, you're an idiot because that show is
wow.
Hey, look, man. It's true. If you're not watching that show,
you should watch the show.
Standing on my
very
soapbox.
Good. It is extremely entertaining. It's very well written.
It's really
one of the best shows on TV right now.
Yes, one of the best shows in the last many years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you get the joy of watching two of the greatest comedic minds collaborate together. One of the greatest comedy teams ever. Ply their trade.
I'm pretty sure since the last time we did a Stepdad show, we finished the new season of What We Do in the Shadows. I don't think we talked about it last time.
Maybe a little bit, yeah. I don't know if we talked about the ending.
I feel like it felt like it. It feels like if the show were to be done, done, I would be okay with it.
Yeah. No, they did a good job but they do that every season. That's what I love about this show, is it goes cuckoo bananas,
right?
Nutso butso. And then it all kind of just goes right back to normal and resets itself at the end. There's never cliffhangers.
This end of the season felt that times like 1,000.
Right.
Like it was almost like they were like, you can go back and watch the first episode again, and it's literally exactly the same.
No, yes, and you're right. If they do end it, which I hope they don't.
I hope they don't either.
I think there's a ton more.
Still a great show. Yeah,
stories to tell with these guys. But you're right. If it is the ending, it's a satisfying ending.
Yeah. But other than that, it started watching a bunch of Halloween stuff. I watched The Invisible Man Returns.
Nice.
The sequel to The Invisible Man. Not nearly as good.
No.
And then I started watching The Invisible Woman, which, funny enough, has nothing to do with the other movies.
Yeah.
It's actually a screwball comedy. The first thing is a butler falling downstairs.
Okay.
I was like, wow, they're going for it. But the acting's really good. and it's fun. I'm really a big fan of the old classic monsters. So
the Universal Monster movies.
Peacock has a bunch of them on there. So like I've been trying to catch up. And the best news of the month. Paramount Plus finally has a PS5 app.
Yes.
So I started watching Twilight Zone again. I watched the first 2 episodes and the original pilot of Star Trek.
Nice.
The original one that only had Spock. Otherwise, everybody else was different.
Oh, it had Pike, right?
Yeah,
Pike.
It was good. It was very cerebral and whatnot. Not a lot of action, but it was good.
A lot of.
Yeah. but
Captain,
then
I have found an anomaly.
They literally, when they started the season, they were kind of writing them in order, but then they aired them out of order. So it was like it just jumps in and it's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. Captain Pike is the star of Strange New Worlds.
That's part of the reason that I started watching Star Trek, because the original series, because I wanted to watch Strange New Worlds, and I think it's all based around that original pilot.
It is. Well, it's a prequel series. It happens before. I guess it's between. Technically, it's between Enterprise and Star Trek: The Original Series.
Right. Which is kind of where that original pilot takes place. Which is the funny thing is that they could have just done away with it and been like, whatever. But of course, everybody had to see it. They would show it at conventions, and eventually they released it on DVD and all this stuff.
Well, poor Pike, man. He
goes through some nastiness.
Well, yeah. On the in the new show, he's aware of his fate.
Oh, okay.
And his fate is the same as his fate on the original show, which I don't remember exactly what happens,
right?
But he ends up in this box,
like
this wheelchair box, and he's
weird.
just all disfigured, and he can only communicate with beeps.
Oh,
it's like,
weird.
Beep. And it's like yes or no beeps. It's like,
Captain
Pike, did you blobbity bloop? Beep. And he's just,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
weird. Okay. Well, that makes
there's
me
that sort of Damocles
excited to watch more
over
of the show.
Pike on this, but
Right.
it's interesting the way because he could, in a way, avoid his fate, but by doing that, it would cause the death of so many other people that he's kind of accepted it, and he's just kind of easing his way towards it. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting character component.
Yeah.
For and Strange New Worlds is my favorite of the new.
Yeah.
I'd say after watching the 3rd season of Picard, I'd say it's pretty close between Picard and Strange New Worlds. But it really captures the feel and the fun of the original series in a way that the other, because Star Trek got a little serious.
Yeah.
After Next Generation, after that, all the shows kind of folded and they went to movies, and they kind of lost the fun a little bit.
I agree, and it definitely seems like Strange New Worlds is that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth a look. They had a musical episode.
Oh wow!
Yeah, just to talk about musicals, they had an episode where some weird being came across them, and they're all. It was really funny the way that they did it, because Spock starts singing and he's just horrified, and then the Klingons come and they're super pissed that they're singing because they're Klingons.
Right.
It's hilarious. It's
all right.
Really
well. That sounds fun.
It's just a fun
really
show.
Fun. We've also been watching Ahsoka.
Yes.
You want to talk about Ahsoka?
Yeah, we have an episode to watch today. We're, I think, one behind.
Yeah.
We just haven't watched this week's.
Yeah.
I love it. I think Ahsoka's great. As a fan of Star Trek Rebels, it's really fun to see them all kind of come to life. And I think it's great.
Yeah.
Ray Stevens is great. It's just so sad.
Sad.
He's such
He's so good.
Big dude, too.
God,
he's just
so,
an imposing figure.
He's so good in the show, and I'm just so sad. I'm more. This sounds really bad, but I'm more sad that he didn't get to do more Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because his character is so interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens at the end. What happens to his character if he survives the season. Who knows? But Rosario Dawson's doing a great job. Yeah. I have no complaints, really.
No. It's interesting. I'm really curious to see where they go with it. I'm curious to see the episode that's this week's episode.
Admiral Thrawn is one of the best Star Wars villains ever. There's a great book trilogy that isn't canon anymore.
No. Although they've pulled in a lot of elements.
Well, Dave Filoni loves.
He was a huge fan of the Heir to the Empire. Or Shadow of the Empire. No, Heir to the Empire. Yeah.
Heir to the Empire. It's a great trilogy. It's basically what the 7, 8, 9 would have been.
Should have been.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
Lucas sold the company instead.
Exactly. But we got Dave Filoni bringing it all back. And you got Mads Mikkelsen's brother playing Thrawn.
Lars
reprising his role from Rebels. He was the voice.
I like that he's in all the cartoons. Like, he's this tall, extremely skinny man, and Lars just has a pot belly.
Yeah, a little pot belly.
It's so cute. It's just like, his little blue pot belly.
He's been eating a lot of stormtrooper butts.
Well, I mean, he's been stuck out in the middle of nowhere for a while.
They have to
eating stormtrooper butts?
They have to cannibalize Adam, like alive.
Oh, it's not a sexual thing.
No, it's a survival thing.
I
Where's
just thought
the food coming
his
from?
race got fat when they ate butts.
No, I don't think so.
The cheese.
Oh, cheese.
Yeah. But I will say, as someone who was a huge fan of the Heir of the Empire books when those came out, because when I got to be of age, like, they were doing no Star Wars stuff. It was just like, until obviously Episode 1.
Yeah.
But between 83 and 97, that 14 years, there was nothing.
Yeah, there was Droids, the cartoon.
Nothing.
And there were the two Ewok movies. But I said, they just took the lamest parts of Star Wars. All we got were lame Star Wars stuff. The teddy bears and the droids. We didn't get no Han Solos, no Landos Calrissians, no Princesses Leias.
The only expansion of the universe was in books. Yeah. And it was some of
good
my
books,
favorite
too.
books. Yeah. Timothy Zahn is an amazing writer.
Yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan and a reader,
yeah,
go buy your thrift store. I'm sure you can find all of them there for nothing.
There are backstories, like canon now, Thrawn backstory novels. I think there's 6 of them, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
Which I want to read at some point, but they've been written since Disney took over, so they're all canon.
Okay.
But talking about his like why he is the way he is and doing with his.
He's a brilliant tactician, Adam. He learns about his enemies through their art.
Well, it makes him. It just apparently. Humanizes him a bit more, even though he's not human. But like it gives you more reason as to why
motivation
as to why
his motivation was basically to save the Chiss, and I think his tactical alliance with the Empire was just purely out of preservation and
totally,
and logic.
Because it was
they're the biggest.
There was another enemy that's even bigger and badder,
right.
and he was trying to help his people.
Yeah,
and the Empire at the time was the main player. So I mean, what do you do?
I don't know. I guess you just try to kill everybody, and then you get taken by a young Jedi and a bunch of whales into the no-no zone. And then you're gone.
It's true. It's true. I know how pissed you would be. It's like, dude, I have spent so many years setting this up, and you just had a space whale fly me out in the middle of nowhere?
Oh, it was a cool ending.
I'd be mad.
Was a cool. I really
No. But I was thinking if I was Thrawn, I'd be pissed.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'd be like, come on, man.
But yeah, as a fan of Rebels, it's fun to see. My one complaint is the lack of Seb.
Yeah.
He needs to be. It's what's so aggravating is he showed up in The Mandalorian.
It was a nice little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Like he's at a bar.
So they made him already.
They have his skin or whatever.
They should. Yeah. It's just they brought in that. I love the guy that was the cosplayer that ended up getting a job.
Right.
I forget his name, but he's great and all. But it's just Seb is part of the crew, and he's the only one.
Yeah,
that we don't have.
It's really obvious because every time they flash back to that mural, and it's like, no, he's right there. Like, what is I mean, I don't. It doesn't make any sense to me. It must have been a budget thing. Maybe they couldn't get. I don't know.
If they got a couple episodes left, they better be bringing him back. I'm just saying, Dave.
Maybe he's going to be the cavalry.
I hope
he's going to come riding in.
You better bring him in, Dave,
on a space whale.
Yeah. Yeehaw.
Anyway, Ahsoka's great. I'm enjoying it.
And then we got Loki coming next month.
I'm excited about Loki.
Yeah. The one thing that Adam and I do watch together are all of the Star Wars shows and the Marvel shows.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our thing. So excited it's great because we get to go from one to the next. So this is done,
it'll be great. I don't even know what's after Loki. There's something coming up.
Maybe another Star Wars show?
I think it's a Star Wars. Anyway. I don't know. But Loki's going to be great. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I watched the first episode of The Continental.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
The first movie of The Continental.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of what it was like. But it's really fun, man. It's cool to see. I'm not a super fan of John Wick. I really enjoy. I've seen the 3 of the 4 movies. I haven't seen the 4th one. I'm looking forward to it. Huge Keanu Reeves fan. And there's a lot of really cool Easter eggs in it.
Nice.
The guy that they have playing the young Winston is very good. The guy that's playing the young Lance Reddick is really good. Mel Gibson's good.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see Mel Gibson in it. I keep forgetting he's in it.
Everybody does. And then Mel Gibson, whatever you think of him, and the man has done some pretty awful things under the influence of drugs and alcohol, and
he may very well be an asshole.
He may very well be, but he's also an incredibly talented dude.
Yeah.
He's a good director, and he's a really good actor, and I hope he's not an a-hole because I really like him a lot, and I don't apologize for anything that he's done.
Maybe he's learned. But
we've all been in not all of us, but a lot of us have been in situations that we regret. But
look, if Jodie Foster is giving him another chance, then I think it's worth to give him another chance.
Sure. I mean, look.
I trust her judgment.
If the guy is still an anti-Semite and a misogynistic, homophobic piece of S, then F him. Yeah. But if he's, grown and changed his ways, then people deserve a second chance, I think.
Yeah.
If they grow. But regardless of all that, it's a really good show. And I'm looking forward. I think it's every Friday they have a new episode. There's 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I was able to see John Wick Part 4 on a plane coming back this summer. It's good. It's really good. It's very long. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to do more of them because it made a ton of money. So, I mean...
Well, they have the ballerina offshoot movie.
That's true.
That's coming out. True. So they may just start doing... Because I think Keanu Reeves is getting a little tired of playing...
Oh, it's very apparent in John Wick 4.
I mean, the guy's 60, man. Yeah. It's just like, give these guys a break.
But they also... That was kind of worked into the story. So it's not like he just shouldn't be doing this anymore. It's like, no, it's part of his character is that he's been doing this for a long time.
I like that. I like when they humanize the character. They're not superheroes.
Right.
They're, like the best example of that is Indiana Jones, who's a very destructible character, and you see the damage. And it's not the years, honey, it's the mileage.
Man, that's got to be coming out and streaming pretty soon.
Yeah, look, if you have not seen you can rent it. It's definitely worth
it's available for rent. Yeah.
Buying or renting. If you haven't seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, do it. If you're an Indiana Jones fan, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, you're gonna love this movie.
It's so good.
Unless you're,
unless you just hate everything.
Yeah, unless you're just a sad person inside.
But I'm excited to see it again.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited to see it again. I watched the first 2 episodes of Krapopolis.
Oh yeah, how was that?
Very good. Dan Harmon's new show. He's the guy that did Rick and Morty.
Helped create Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and 2.5 Men and
all those other shows. Really long Community. There's a really long interview with him in the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah, I read that.
I didn't read all of it because it was long.
Yeah,
but just talking about how he was like, yeah, I realized I talked too much, so I kind of just stopped.
Yeah,
and to stop my podcast, stopped working on shows, and was like, I'm gonna go to therapy and deal.
And he also discussed the whole Justin Roiland.
Yeah, I didn't get to that part, so I don't know.
It was mostly he's more comfortable talking about himself being a piece of S.
Yeah,
but he basically.
Yeah, it's too bad.
It's really too bad. It is really too bad. Although I watched the trailer for the new Rick and Morty, and the voices sound pretty much the same, so it's not.
No, that's good.
I don't think it's going to be that. They had to replace him on that, and they did the different thing on Solar Opposites.
Yeah.
Where
I watched the first episode of it, and I love Solar Opposites, and I just haven't gotten back into it.
It takes a little bit to get used to the new.
It's just weird. I mean, I like what they did with it, and how it was just like, well, this is it, and just accept it.
But yeah, it takes a little bit to get into. Yeah. But it's still the Wall story's great.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of other stuff in there that you'll definitely enjoy. I haven't watched it yet because I've been saving it for spooky season. But Peacock dropped the 2nd season of Chucky.
Oh, yeah?
I loved the first season.
I, for some reason, keep thinking there were 2 already. I don't know why.
There were.
There were 2 already.
It just took a while for it to drop. I think the 3rd season's dropping on USA this month.
Okay.
It's usually a season behind.
I just couldn't remember because it airs on USA originally. That's right. I just couldn't remember if I had actually watched the 2nd season or not. But
I'm going to watch it. The 2nd season I'm going to watch. I'm really excited for it. I really enjoyed the first one.
The first season was phenomenal.
But I watched One Piece. I loved it. I thought it was really fun. The characters were great.
I'm excited to watch that.
It makes me interested one, to watch the anime, although it's an extremely large commitment with 1,000 episodes.
It's a lot.
But I put the One Piece Odyssey on my wish list, the RPG.
Oh, yeah.
Because it looks really fun. It looks like it's got kind of the same humor and action. It was a very fun show. I really recommend it.
Every piece of media I've seen for it, like, because on Netflix, I'll flip through and it'll just randomly start playing a scene or whatever, and everything I've seen on it has been really funny and done really well, and it's like, okay, I'm excited to watch it.
And the kid that plays the lead, that plays Monkey D. Luffy or whatever his name is, I don't remember.
Monkey D. Luffy.
I think it's that was his name is. He is just charm in a bottle, baby.
Yeah.
He is just charisma and charm and so likable.
Okay.
And the whole cast is really good, but he in particular embodies that role in such a perfect way. Just the joy in his face and the exuberance of his character is infectious. It's one of the standout performances of the year.
That's cool. I'm excited about Our Flying Means Death coming back. I think it's sometime this month or in October.
Such a good show.
I've personally also coming back, and I want to say when you're hearing this, the premiere of the season would have been last night, but Amazing Race is coming back.
Oh.
I'm very excited about that. Survivor is coming back too, but I've never watched that. But Amazing Race is coming back, so I'm excited about it. It's fun.
And the talk shows are coming back because of the writer's strike.
The writer's strike is apparently done as of this recording. It was 12:01 on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to get our Last Week Tonight with John Oliver's back. And
They
real time.
Unfortunately, can't feature any actors.
No.
What movies have you been watching? Or was there any more? There weren't any more shows.
I don't think so. Okay. Nothing that I can remember.
I mean, I want to talk about this a little bit next week, but I have been watching The Golden Girls.
Nice.
I'm almost done with the first season already.
Wow.
They're short, but like it's such a good show. Man, the writing is so good in that show.
Oh yeah,
like
everybody loves the Golden Girls.
It found its footing very quickly, I will say, because they are by halfway through the first season, they're very defined.
There's like Cheers was like that.
Yeah,
there were certain shows just right out of the gate,
just knew what it was, and it's good. It's fun. I'm excited to watch. There's 7 seasons. I'm excited to watch the other 6. And
nice. And those are like network seasons where you got
there's like 26 episodes. Yeah,
it's a big one. I watched a bunch of movies, actually. I watched the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I like
Mutant
Turtles.
Mayhem.
Oh, Mutant Mayhem.
They brought that kid back, by the way. Did you see
did
that?
they? No.
They did. It was hilarious.
No,
he's like 30 now, and he had the same makeup on, and they're like, "Are you going to see the movie?" He's like, "I like turtles." And it was hilarious.
That's amazing.
Good for him. I love when these kids come back and make fun of their memes and stuff.
I like turtles.
Very funny.
He's so great.
Great
movie.
Great movie. The best of all the turtle movies. I've never been a fan of the turtle movies. I really like the comics when
Better than Turtles in Time?
Well, maybe not, or maybe not the Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the comics in college.
Yeah.
And the comics are very different than the movies.
Dark.
Yeah. And just a side note, I'm really looking forward to the last Ronin game of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Have you that?
No, I haven't heard about this at all.
Oh yeah, because it's the comic series about there's only one turtle left. They're all dead.
Oh wow!
And he's like doing revenge. Oh, it's going to be great. If they do it right, it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
But
dark.
But the soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks of the year.
Oh yeah.
The voice cast is great. They got actual teenagers to play the teenagers, and they did a great thing by recording all of their dialogue together. So they have this amazing chemistry.
Right.
They're talking over each other, making fun of each other. I mean, it just feels very real.
Okay, that's cool.
It's not a bunch of, hey, dude, cowabunga. It's a bunch
of... Oh, Raph, why do you got to be like that?
Yeah, come on, Splinter. But he's great. You got Jackie Chan as...
Oh, really? Is he playing...
the rat?
Is Splinter?
Is that Splinter?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because what's the bad guy? Shredder.
Pokey McShredderface? Yeah, Shredder. Shredder and Splinter. They're very similar.
But Shredder's not.
They're actually long-lost brothers.
But they got it's really cool. It's a very cool story. It's about these mutants, these other mutants, led by Ice Cube, who I effing love.
Nice.
As a fly, a super fly.
Oh, yeah.
And you got Paul Rudd. You got John Cena. You got...
Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen, who I can never remember his name, but thank God you remember his laugh. You have the woman from What We Do in the Shadows. I forget her name.
Oh, that plays the
vampire.
The vampire. Yeah, I never remember.
Diamopolis or something. It's like an interesting name. And then they did a really cool thing. Instead of like this, beautiful red-haired April O'Neil, they have this like African-American teenager who's like kind of an outsider too, and she wants to be a reporter, but she writes for the school newspaper.
Right. Oh, nice.
And she's played by Ayu Edebiri.
Okay.
I think I'm saying her name correctly.
I think so.
You probably know her from The Bear. She's on The Bear if you've watched that.
I have not.
She did a voice in the new Spider-Man.
Oh,
Across the Universe.
Across the Universe.
She's in that movie that looks hilarious, Bottoms, coming out.
Oh yeah.
That
looks so funny.
Yes, the coming of age. It looks like a great.
It's a
high
great
school coming of age.
A great like raunchy high school coming of age story. Just happened to star as a bunch of women.
I can't wait. It looks hilarious. And she's super funny. She's a stand-up comic. She wrote for What We Do in the Shadows. She wrote for Big Mouth. Super talented. Only like 27 or something.
Wow.
It really makes me angry when somebody that young is that talented.
So much for supporting your local artist, Jim.
Look, I talk about talent crush. Yeah. She's somebody who I saw doing stand-up a couple of years ago and just thought she was hilarious. And then I've seen her just get more and more popular and bigger, and it's one of those things where it's like, okay, talent's being recognized.
Yeah.
And she does a bang-up job playing April.
Nice.
And I really like the change. I'm sure it probably upset a lot of people because everything all change upsets.
Do you know what? If you don't think about those people, they don't enter your mind.
Yes. But again, just a really fun movie. Really well written, an amazing soundtrack.
It looks really good. Like,
and the animation is this weird cross between like animation and claymation.
Yeah.
And very unique. And just it's sad because I think like the 70s we're kind of in this place where there is some experimenting going on now.
Yeah.
But it's just completely like, well, F that now, because if it doesn't do well right away, I think it's going to do. I think the whole streaming situation is effing with a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Because, and it's, hey, I'm the same way. Like, I'll just be like, I'll be on streaming in 2 weeks. You know, because it used to be, you would have to wait like 6 months for something to come out on video and then to see it. So it's like, behooves you to go to the theater.
Right.
But now with the new streaming model, it's just like, well, if I wait 2 weeks or a month, I'll get to watch it,
Turtles was still in the movie theaters like a month ago. So, I mean, the friend I had dinner with last night, that was the last movie they saw. And it was like, the end of like July or beginning August. And I was like,
August,
It just came out on streaming. So, I mean.
But if you have, it's on Paramount, right?
Yeah.
If you have Paramount Plus, definitely check it out. Yeah. If you've got kids, watch with the kids. If you don't have kids, still watch it anyway. It's going to be a lot of fun. I watched also The Wrath of Becky. Which is the sequel to Becky.
I added both of those to the. I haven't seen either of them yet.
Becky, they're fun. Becky was this movie that came out a few years ago, and Kevin James played the bad guy, played like this white supremacist guy, and he was excellent in it. Yeah, he was really good as a bad guy.
This was not Becky. This was something else.
This was Becky, the first Becky.
Oh, I thought, okay.
Okay. And then Wrath of Becky is the sequel.
Okay.
And then they have Sean William Scott playing the bad guy in this one. And they bring Becky back, and she's got to do revenge again.
Okay.
Not as good as the first one, but still fun.
Fun? Okay.
And I really like the actor that plays Becky. He's really good. Also, I watched Elemental.
Oh, yeah.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't watched that yet.
Pixar.
Yeah.
Great movie. I mean, it's a Pixar movie. It's cute. It's deep. It's beautiful. Lots of colors. It was amazing to watch. Fun story. Very colorful. I recommend it. Theater Camp.
Yeah.
Again with Ayo Edebiri. She's in it.
Yeah.
She's hilarious in it too. Theater Camp was great. Like, I didn't go as a kid. I was a child. I wasn't a child actor, but I acted as a kid, you know. But my parents, this was like 70s and 80s. So, parents were very wary of arts kids because they didn't want you to turn out gay. So, they didn't really let me go to theater camps or acting camps. They made me go to sports camps.
Right.
And then I would act in like community theater with the adults and stuff,
right.
or school plays and stuff. But so I didn't really identify. I identified with the kids a bit, but I never had the experience of going to theater camp. But oh baby, the people that played the adults and that played the counselors, we know those people. We know them all.
Yeah.
All of them. And they do such a good job of recreating just that self-importance,
Yeah.
That just like, it's like putting so much pressure and importance on something that is just so not important. You know what I mean? And it's and just the narcissism and the Schadenfreude and just all of the deliciousness of theater is in there. And some great performances by Ben Platt.
Ben Platt. What else? Name sounds really
he's
familiar.
A Broadway actor. He was in the Pitch Perfect movies.
Okay. Maybe that's why the name sounds familiar.
That Evan Hansen.
He's on my list of people I hate.
Well, what happened? He was in that Evan Hansen Broadway.
Dear Evan Hansen.
And then they put him in the movie when he was like 35.
Oh,
and
okay.
everybody was
Yes.
like, he's way too old to play that.
Yeah.
But he was excellent.
Come on, they worked in Greece.
And then you got Io Edeberry playing like just this con artist that basically comes in and is like, oh yeah, I know how to do all this stuff, like, just to get the job.
Nice.
And she doesn't know how to do anything.
Nice.
The conceit of it, Amy Sedaris has this theater camp, and she goes into a coma right before it's going to open. And her son, played by Jimmy Tatro, who you know him, he was, he's in that Bert Kirshner Bear movie.
Oh, the Machine?
Yeah. He's in The Machine playing the young Bert.
Which, that just weirdly came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He was in The Vandal, the first season.
Oh, okay.
He's a guy
Okay. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So good. Yeah. Such a good actor.
He's funny.
So good at playing clueless. But also just like so very just a very layered. I love when guys play dummies with layer because it's so easy just to play a dummy and a jerk.
Right.
But this guy, there's so much going on. Him and his mom, and so many things. Also, I just want to say Noah Galvin, I think his name is. He was in the show The Real O'Neills. It was a show for a while that was about this Boston family. Martha Plimpton was the mom. And, they're this whatever family, and he's gay. So it was like the kid. And it was a really fun show. He was really good in it.
Just want to say, Jimmy Tatro, you were talking about, he was the fireman boyfriend, the lunkhead fireman boyfriend
in Modern Family. Yes, thank you.
Even it's funny, you know how I figured that out? Your impression of him was spot on.
Thanks.
I was just like, wait a minute, that sounds really familiar.
Oh, he's just hilarious.
Yeah,
he's another guy.
Really funny. Really funny.
But this kid, Noah Galvin, he plays the tech guy.
Yeah.
And he's so good as the tech guy, but then he kind of bursts. I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. I definitely want to see this movie.
That effing kid is so talented.
Nice.
I know he's a big Broadway guy.
Yeah.
I think he and the Platt kid probably have done a bunch of crap together.
Oh, yeah.
But he is so good. It's got Patty Harrison. You'd know her from, she's in a ton of stuff. Nathan Lee Graham. Hilarious. It's just a really fun movie, and if you, it's like the mockumentary kind of thing. If you like theater, if you like the mockumentary stuff, definitely watch it. I was really tickled by it. I really enjoyed it quite a bit.
I'm excited to see it. I never did I didn't get into theater until I was in college.
Oh.
So but having run a theater for 10 years, pretty sure I'm going to be able to connect with this movie pretty well.
Well, I wanted to be a theater kid.
Yeah.
But I was kind of discouraged.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
I mean, it was weird because my mom was very encouraging about my acting.
Yeah.
But she was also very worried about my sexuality. And also like trying to honor my dead father by me playing football, me playing sports and that kind of stuff. Very complicated childhood. Adam.
Yeah.
Very complicated.
Oh, no, I know.
But yeah, definitely watch that. And then for our movie night, we finally saw Fast X.
Fast 10? Is it 10 or X?
Sure. I guess it's both.
It's like Jason X
tomato,
or Jason
tomato.
10.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was your most disappointing feature of Fast 10, Jim?
Oh, nothing.
The fact that it was just half of a movie.
Oh my God! Yes, what is with this? With like, this and Mission Impossible and all these movies breaking it up in twos. Thank you, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, setting the precedent for 2 movies.
Unfortunately, it's because those 2 movies made so much money.
Exactly. Let's break it up. Well, it's hurting.
Twilight did that.
Yeah, it didn't do very well for Mission Impossible. It was the lowest rated Mission Impossible. Lowest grossing Mission Impossible? Wow. Domestically.
Again, that movie came out?
Yeah, exactly.
Question mark?
Again, I think, same thing with Indiana Jones. It's like the word of mouth on that was amazing.
Yeah.
It wasn't marketed that well. And then, again, people were just like, I'll see it on...
Yeah, streaming, whatever.
But, look, you and I used to watch Big Brother all the time. Every season, we would watch that show. Oh my God. Hate ourselves for watching it. We had to drink so much to get through the episodes.
3 times a week.
Oh, 3 times. It was our summer ritual.
Awful.
Was watching Big Brother.
God, it was awful.
The Fast and the Furious movies are the movie equivalent of Big Brother to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I like it's so fascinating to me that a movie about an undercover cop infiltrating a street racing gang that are making bootleg DVDs has turned into this over-the-top comic book,
super spy
ridiculously physics ignoring.
They went to space, Jim.
No, they did go to space, Adam.
It's possible with my flying car.
And look, I know everybody loved Jason Momoa as the bad guy, but it was fun at the beginning, but then it's just like, quit chewing the scenery, man.
There was a moment when I almost turned to you and Phoebe and go, man, Jason Momoa is almost, I was going to say the equivalence at that point of Anton Chigurh. Like he had been reserved enough. Yeah. And then right before I said it, it was like he flipped a switch and it was like, nope, time to chew the scenery. Let's go.
Oh God, if he spread his arms out in the cross analogy anymore.
Yeah. Oh God.
Anyway, it's just
well, hey, look at it this way. The silver lining, there's going to be one more, and then they're done.
Oh, that's what you say.
No, that's what's going to happen.
I don't know, man.
Although, I did also, from the friend that works at Universal, I found out last night that they're building a Fast and Furious roller coaster at Universal.
Of course they are.
So
it's
who
a juggernaut.
Who knows?
It's a juggernaut. And then they bring everybody back. Nobody dies in that movie.
No.
And here's the thing that really bothers me, too. And this is, look, I get it. When a character dies in a movie, when an actor who plays a character dies in a movie, it's a very tricky thing to do.
Yeah.
But they're doing such a disservice to the character that Paul Walker played because basically the plot of this movie is this guy is coming to kill them all. Toretto because Toretto, killed his daddy in movie number 6 or 7. Who knows? Five movies ago.
Yeah.
It took a long time there, Jason Momoa.
He was taking acting classes.
Sure he was. He was busy
perfecting his cross
swimming.
stance.
Yes. So Paul Walker, his character is alive, but just kind of like not participating.
His wife is around.
His wife is participating, but apparently he's not. And
he's with the kids.
But with all of this ass going down,
I know.
Why are they protecting him?
Your best friend, essentially your brother, is like...
That's the problem, and I get it.
And in the movie, his brother.
Yes, and I get it. I mean, they killed off John Cena.
I know.
Spoiler alert. Sorry. But he'll probably come back.
Worst possible way.
Oh my God, with the rocket.
I'm sure.
It's just stupid.
I'm sure it was John Cena just being like, please get me out of this.
It's like a video game. It is just...
Yeah.
I love fun, stupid movies. I like Armageddon. It's a big, dumb, goofy, stupid movie.
Yes.
But it works because the characters are fun.
It has good characters.
And good actors.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that these actors are bad. I'm looking at a couple of them. Aren't very good.
Well, a few of them were actually pretty good at the beginning, but they've definitely settled into, this is what you want. Okay.
Yeah, it's just they also don't know what to do with Ludacris anymore.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with is it Tyrese Gibson?
Yes. Yes.
They don't know what to do with him anymore. There's just too many people.
The cast is bloated considerably.
And they don't,
no one will die.
Right, but they also don't give them any, they give all the meaty stuff to
Dominic
Toretto.
To Vin.
And anyway, it's just, I get it. I get people loving these movies.
Yeah.
I wish I could love them because I love schlock. You know me. I'm not I from indie to Audi. I love every movie there is, but
I am just on the other side of the acceptance of it. Whereas you're like, I want to love it, and I'm kind of like, yeah, it's fun. It's entertaining, but I'm literally never going to watch it again.
No.
I mean,
no. It's like chips. It's like eating chips. You know, it tastes good. And then you don't feel that great after you eat a whole bag of them. And it's like eating a bag. The Fast and Furious movies are like eating a bag of Doritos.
Ugh.
They taste good. You love Doritos, but by the end, you just don't want to see any more Doritos.
You're just pooping fire.
Yikes. So, our top pick.
Yay.
Fast and Furious 10.
Look, it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch on streaming.
Yes. Again.
It's entertaining.
If you smoke it a doob, I smoke it a doob. If you drink it a drink, I drink it a drink.
Have a beer, have whiskey, and
put it on. Rainy Sunday afternoon. And hate yourself afterwards.
Realize that upset tummy you have is not from the liquor, it's from the movie.
It's from the movie. You been playing any games?
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. The longest I've played a free game quote unquote free, from the PlayStation Plus. Saints Row.
Yeah.
Been playing Saints Row.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. I mean, it's not a great game, but it's serviceable and it's fun.
I've enjoyed it. I even the expansion went on sale. And I was like, F it. I enjoyed this game enough to spend $11 to and I played through 2 of the things and they're fine. I didn't want to pay $20-$30 for it or whatever. I would have been very disappointed.
Yeah.
But look, Saints Row has always been kind of the Michael Bay version of GTA.
Yeah.
The over the top, crazy, getting hit by cars.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, exactly.
GTA.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Not quite as crazy.
No. Although it can be.
Yeah, no, it definitely. Oh, my God, it can be. But I think it was 2 or 3. Was it whichever one had Burt Reynolds and.
I think it was the third one.
I think so.
Yeah.
There's really no topping that. I mean, that was an incredibly it starts out with you like flying through a plane, jumping back into the plane, and then falling and grabbing people and shooting people. It was an incredible opening. And this new one, they just tried a little something different.
Yeah.
The town is fun. I've never really seen a Western setting for an open world before. They do a good job. It's a pretty world. There's not a ton to do in it. There's not a ton of interiors and stuff, but
I mean there's they definitely put a lot of time into building that game. Yeah.
The character creator's great, and you can kind of play it the way you want. I played it as like a Western dude, You can pick your accent and you can design your character, and I designed kind of a cowboy guy and played through as a cowboy guy, and you're playing through as like a comic book character.
Yeah, someone created when they released the comic book, when they released the creator
boss creator
thing, like a while ago, someone had created a skin for the Savage Dragon, which is my favorite comic book character, and I'm literally playing as him. Like, I'm playing through it like it's that character.
Yeah, the story's fine. It's fun. The shooting's fine. The shooting is no different. The driving is no different, and the flying is no different than any other Saints Row game.
Still kind of wonky.
Exactly.
It
it's mushy,
really work.
It's arcadey, but that's how it always has been.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have killed Volition. I mean, and Volition, they had Red Faction, they had all these great games. It's a very storied company, and
it's really too bad,
I think a lot of the problem, because we're playing the game about a year after it came out.
Yeah.
And it's been patched quite a bit.
Yes.
And I think
over 1,000 patches.
Yes. And I think, unfortunately, games are coming out now broken.
Yeah. They're unfinished.
It is just de rigueur to have like a 15 gigabyte patch, day one patch.
At least 15.
To fix these unfinished games.
Yeah.
Which is unconscionable,
Right.
Finish your damn games.
Yeah.
And so this game was so bugged out and effed up. I get it.
Yeah.
They shot themselves in the foot doing it, but now that it's kind of fixed and it works well, it's just another Saints Row game. It's fun.
Yeah.
The characters aren't as over the top as the past Saints characters. They're a little bit more down to earth.
Yeah.
But they're still fun. There's this whole like LARPing side quest thing. It's hilarious.
It's really fun.
Yeah. it's a solid 7.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I didn't pay for it.
Yes.
I'm glad it was a free thing. I kind of wish they had included the DLC with it.
Yeah, they should have.
But they released it that way before Volition announced they were closing. So, I mean, they're trying to scrape as much money as they can from it.
And I don't mind giving them another extra 10 or $11. But it's, I put a lot of hours into it. It's just like, it's also, sometimes you just want some pizza. You just want F and PB&J. It's comfort food. It's just very.
Sometimes you just got to eat that entire bag of Doritos.
Yeah, it's you can just go in, lose yourself for a while. Yeah. It's not too complicated.
No,
you're not solving a lot of puzzles and stuff. If you just want to turn your brain off and shoot some dudes and have some fun, good game. If you're a PS Plus member, definitely give it a shot.
Yeah. Download it before it goes away.
And also, really curious. Please let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Are we wrong? Do you think we're wrong? Right. Is it a bad game? I don't know. I guess it's all subjective, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed that game. I don't think I'll 100% it, but
I'm gonna try because I know that once I put it down, I'm never gonna play it again.
Yeah. Well, yes, I'm gonna definitely erase it right away. But I might try to do that. I've also, it's funny. I still play GTA online. Mm-hmm. I like to go on every once in a while, once or twice a week maybe, and try to just jump into a heist, into a Diamond Casino heist. And I found this strange occurrence that keeps happening. Mm-hmm. And it's really annoying. I don't know if it's a thing, but I'll go into a heist. We'll get all the way through. We'll get all the money or the paintings or whatever we're stealing. We're on the way out, and right as we're about to leave, somebody drops. Somebody pops out.
And then it kills it.
And then it kills it. And then it's over. And I'm wondering if, again, this happened more than twice. This is something that has happened frequently enough for me to think that this is a thing for trolls to go in.
Maybe it's a glitch. Maybe there's some kind of glitch that's going on.
Maybe.
Like somebody thinks they're done, and then it's like they're at the screen, and they go away, and then it's like...
No, it's a pretty big glitch. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people that play GTA online that are just there to ruin other people's day.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. But every once in like 10, you'll get a good group and a good thing, and you'll go through, and it'll be really fun. Trying to finish Horizon.
Yeah.
I'm getting close, I think. It's just, there's so much. Definitely not 100% in that one. There's just too much stuff. It's overwhelming.
It's big. It's very big.
But, oh, man. So... thanks to my sister Tracy and her husband Daryl, my brother-in-law, I had a bunch of Amazon gift card stuff saved up. And so I ended up getting Baldur's Gate 3, Phantom Liberty, and the new Stephen King book.
Yeah.
So Baldur's Gate 3, an amazing game. And talking about, and this is one thing I wanted to talk about with this game, is that this game was released almost perfect.
Yeah.
No day one patch. They've had a couple of patches to fix a few things, which makes sense because it's such a hugely complicated game.
Right.
No microtransactions, no DLC, no nothing.
Yeah.
Larian, the studio, was like, we just want you to have the experience. We don't want to nickel and dime you. And we want to give you a game that works right out of the gate.
Shocking. Yeah.
So the backlash to this from the other developers.
Yeah, we can't do that. That's
this is not a standard that's going to be met at all.
We realize it used to be the standard, but yeah.
Yeah, and this is a smaller studio. Larian's not one of the bigs,
no.
But this game is, if you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, or even just an RPG fan, this game is so full of choice, so full of problem solving. You have to I am approaching it unlike any other RPG I've ever played, because usually RPG is like, I'll do some side quests, I'll build up my guy, I'll craft some stuff. It's just kind of like, it kind of holds your hand a little bit through it, and you can pick and choose what you want to do. This stuff just pops up. You're going to miss it. You're not going to miss it.
Right.
It's some of the choices that seem like really bad choices are actually really good choices.
Right.
It really tries to F with you a little bit, and it is so engrossing. The story is amazing. The acting is amazing. The cutscenes there's cutscenes for everything. If you were watching me play, I helped this woman finish her song, and she taught me how to play a lute. And then I have this ability to talk to animals.
Right.
And so I started talking to these 2 squirrels that were standing there, and they're like, "Oh my God, make it stop. It's so horrible. Her singing is so awful." And, you could have just completely missed that. It was there's all these little tidbits that 99% of the people playing may never see.
Right.
But that's the level of detail in this game. And it is one of the greatest RPGs I've ever played.
Nice.
I also started the expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty.
Oh, yeah.
They completely reworked that game.
Right.
With the 2.0 patch, they've completely worked the combat system, the buff system, the police system. I mean, it's basically a new game. I was debating, big problems. I was debating whether to start a whole new playthrough, and then add Phantom Liberty into that new playthrough. Yeah. But I decided, no, I want to play through it with the character that I went through the whole game with.
Yeah.
With all of my stuff, just to kind of, and it's been really, really fun. The game is completely changed for the better. The new place, Dogtown, is so alive and so well done. The opening is pretty much on rails. Not on rails, but you have to do a bunch of stuff before the world reopens for you.
Right.
But it's like you got to rescue the president. It's like Escape from New York a little bit.
Oh, nice,
that opening scene. It's just gritty. There's choices. The choices are a lot more impactful on this.
Yeah.
The cops are a lot better on this. There's car combat. If you were disappointed with Cyberpunk 2077 when it came out, because most people were, and you've just kind of put it on your pile and been like, okay, now is the time to bring it back.
Right.
I'm envious of you, Adam, because you're going to get to play it the way that it was meant to be played.
Yeah, I played maybe 2 hours, if that, at the beginning. I don't remember any of it, so it's like it's brand new to me.
I loved the game. I loved it. I loved playing it. It's totally in my wheelhouse. I love RPGs. I love RPGs where you do your own builds. Like my build for this one, is like a stealthy pistol sword samurai guy.
Nice.
And oh man, I can chop the F out of people with just chop their arms and legs and heads off. It's just so satisfying to be able to play the way that you want to play. Like if you want to be a guy with a club jumping down and just beating people,
be Shotgun Sammy.
There's so many choices. Like there's so many choices that when you come back into the game, if you've played it, you have to respec all of your points because the whole skill tree and everything has changed. So you have to kind of completely redo that if you're going to stay with your same character. Yeah. It took me probably an hour, maybe a little bit longer, to respec everything.
Yeah. Because
there's just so much minutia and so many ways to choose. Right. And I still have a few points that I haven't put in because I'm not quite sure yet.
Right.
But it's just the freedom of that. I'm excited to get back. I haven't met Idris Elba yet. I just called him.
Oh,
I'm about to go meet him.
Nice.
Woo, baby.
That's
and that's another thing is, you get to play with Idris Elba and Keanu Reeves is back.
Yeah.
And it's just a little more serious. It's like this. It's totally in my wheelhouse because it's a spy thriller.
Right.
And I'm so excited once we finish the show to go back to playing it. That's that and Baldur's Gate, man.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with either of those. And even if you're not an RPG fan, you'll still really enjoy Baldur's Gate because of the story and the characters and the interactions. If you like a good story, you're going to love it. And again, if you haven't, for whatever reason, if you dust off your Cyberpunk, and even if you don't get the expansion, you still get a ton of free stuff.
It's a totally reworked game.
Yeah. But that's what I'm playing.
Nice.
Man, I consumed a lot of entertainment this month.
I am probably going to go to Cyberpunk after I finish Saints Row.
Yeah.
But I did just see they leaked 2 of the games that are coming out for October, the PlayStation Plus premium or whatever the hell it's called.
Essential.
The free games. Yeah, essential games. And one of them is the Callisto Protocol, which I'm excited to play.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I mean, at least want to try it.
Oh, definitely. It looks gorgeous, but it's just a lot of the reviews have been...
Yeah.
But again, I think it's probably going to be a solid 7.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun horror game to play in spooky season.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm a little curious about Farming Simulator. I
was just going to say, I think even scarier than that is Farming Simulator 22. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not a fan of playing simulator games on a console.
Yeah.
I need a mouse.
Sure.
I have Surviving Mars is really good. I have that. I've been playing it quite a bit. But the way it did the interaction with the controller is really good. So it really comes down to the mechanics.
Yeah.
But it's Farming Simulator.
I'm curious. I'm trying to branch out. And try new things gaming wise because I'm pretty stuck on the stuff that I like and the stuff that I play. And I've been branching out a little bit. Finally now I'm not playing like 10-year-old games over and over again like some weirdo depresso. But yeah, I would like to. There's a few games that are on my radar. There's the Squanch games.
The
High on Life.
High on Life. Yeah.
Yeah, when that comes down, I'm really curious about playing that.
Yeah.
And there's Spider-Man's coming out next month.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Oh baby, that looks good.
Yeah. I still want to play Hogwarts. I still haven't played that yet.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was really fun.
And then, God, there was something.
That's
else
something you and Phoebe could play. I think she would enjoy watching that.
Yeah.
Well, you get
yes, in theory, that's never going to happen.
Okay.
Which is fine. I mean, she'll pop in once in a while, and she might be more interested.
Leviosa.
Yeah.
Leviosa.
But we'll see. I got to figure it. Yeah, I just need to figure out.
It's on sale now, I think.
It's still like $55.
Ah. Well, there'll be a Black Friday sale coming up.
Yeah.
And that'll, there's going to probably be some pretty good deals on your Final Fantasy 16s and your Hogwartses and your.
Yeah. God, there was something. I feel like there was something else that was coming out. Anyway, but Spider-Man 2, that's on my list. I might not buy anything until that comes out at the end of October.
We'll get it on disc if you do get it.
We'll see. Somebody didn't get Hogwarts Legacy on disc.
I know. I tried, but it was just so much cheaper to get it.
Well, that's just it. Is that we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
If you're going to buy, because I didn't buy Hogwarts. I did buy Hogwarts full price. No, I didn't buy Hogwarts full price.
No, I don't think you did.
I got it on sale.
I think it's because it was cheaper in digital.
But if
anyway, I haven't done any research on it. So I mean, and it's still in pre-order stuff. So I mean, we'll see.
But if you're gonna purchase it full price, do it on disc so that we can.
Yeah.
I'll even go halvesies.
Yeah. Well, but anyway, the point is that I'm very excited to play that.
Yeah,
that's going to supersede everything.
Yes, the original Spider-Man and the Miles Morales expansion, they're just two of the greatest games of the PS5.
The replayability of those games are just insane.
Oh yeah, and
it's so much fun.
Miles Morales is the only game that I platinumed.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
I did Astro's Playroom. That was
nice.
The only one that I. Although maybe I did. I don't
You
know.
have a couple of platies.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was I was the only one I plat because I just couldn't get it up. I think I enjoyed Miles Morales a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than even though it was smaller and it was just an expansion, but I think I liked the character of Miles Morales. I liked his powers, and the story was really good too.
Yeah, I'm really, really, really excited about Venom and, and all this. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good story.
And Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, is he in it too?
He's the main baddie.
Oh, there's a movie coming out with Kraven.
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
It does. Aaron Taylor, what is that kid's name?
Aaron Taylor Johnson?
Yes.
Yes.
Man, he is just like every superhero from Kick-Ass to Quicksilver to...
It's so funny because he looked so kind of skinny and wimpy in the first Kick-Ass, and now he's just this giant dude.
He is huge. Yeah. He was so good in... What was it? Was it Bullet Train? What was the name of that train?
With Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bullet Train.
Bullet Train. He was so good in that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where he actually used his real accent.
I think he would be a good James Bond, actually. Next month, we got a big old...
Yeah.
We did the 70s horror movies. We did the 80s horror movies. And now we will do the 90s horror movies.
I don't know what we're going to do next year.
The 2000s.
Yeah.
But we got some really good ones coming up.
So excited about
Opening
October.
up with one of our absolute favorites, Tremors.
Oh, it's such a good
Kevin
movie.
Bacon.
a good movie.
You'll get that bacon sizzling.
Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward, man. There should have been 18 movies with them in it.
They were so good together. We also have a little Candyman. Watch out for them bees.
Surprisingly enough, Candyman and Tremors connected by the fact that they have really weird sequels.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
And actually Scream too, because Scream did the same thing. We'll talk about it next month.
And then Scream,
yeah.
You know, one of the titular 90s movies. And again, you know, we got Wes Craven in every decade.
Yeah.
Because that man was the godfather of horror.
Oh, he was
so talented.
So
And reinvented the genre over and over and over again.
It's going to be really fun to talk about Scream because the studios made Kevin Williamson toned the script down because apparently his script was super gory.
Oh, really?
Like, you know, intestines rolling down her leg and like all this stuff. And they made him like cut all this stuff.
Ow.
And then Wes Craven came in and was like, "Yeah, we're going to add some of that back in."
Nice.
Like he's like, "No, we need this. We need this."
You need viscera.
Yeah.
That
Anyway,
makes a good horror
I am
movie.
very excited. All three. I haven't seen Candyman in forever.
Me too.
Scream. First time I ever got really drunk and threw up. I was watching Scream. Super fun. We'll talk about that at the end of the month.
Special stories.
Yeah, it's great. I'm excited.
Well, that's it for your stepdads. Have a great week, and we'll be back next month with some spooks. I watched the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just forgot my thought.
Paul Walker.
Oh.
I have it.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Benson, already in progress.